Hello, everyone. It's Ray from Booze, Boobs, and Blood podcast. I'm here by myself tonight. Well, there's a dog. Bucky Sebastian Barnes is behind me. But I'm by myself today because I took in a movie by myself today. This is the second time I'm recording this, so you know I'm in a great mood. So I took myself. I had a little vacation day today. Instead of doing like what other people do on vacation, like go away and do fun things with their families. I took my dumbass to lunch and then went to see the First Omen. So it's been a while. I want to do it. It's been a while since this movie's been out. I think it's been 3 weeks, and I'm just catching it. So I'm, right where I need to be, right? So anyhow, I will say, off the top, I didn't hate it. It wasn't awful. It's one of those movies it's hard to like because it's depressing. You leave and you're like, fuck, what did I just see? It's depressing as hell. So there's that. In general, I thought it was great. No, let me rein that back in. I thought it was good. Thank you. But I was going to tell you a little bit about the movie and then, give my ratings. So I'm going to go just on... I did take notes, but I think, honestly, Wikipedia helps. I think it gives us more succinct plot. And right off the bat, every British actor who is having their bathroom remodeled and needs a cash grab is in this movie. Like, I'm surprised. So you've got Ralph Ineson, you have Bill Nighy, and then you have Charles Dance. Like, wasn't Charles Dance in like a fucking like Dracula Untold? Was he not in that movie? And we all know the Bill Nighy is all over I, Frankenstein and those underworld movies. And I'm sure Ralph Innes has done his slogging through American bullshit to get some, get a master bedroom, remodeled. I'm surprised that Tom Wilkinson isn't here too, because he's another one who's like, yum, 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 garbage. I will eat it up to, put down new flooring, or buy a house in the Cape, whatever. But we open with Charles Dance as our Father Brennan. And he either one or the other. I don't know, because everyone just calls each other father. But in the plot it says Father Brennan presses Father Harris. I think I could be wrong. I think maybe I am wrong. Father Brennan is Ralph Ineson, and Father Harris is Charles Dance. It does not matter because Charles Dance is he was on shoot for 2 hours, and that was mostly the prosthetics they ended up putting on his head. Because something happens to him which was pretty fucking gnarly. Just like the priest always happens, every priest in an Omen movie. I mean, come on. But they're talking about this a conspiracy that's happening. It's an occult conspiracy. We're in I don't know where we're at the beginning of the movie. I don't know if we're in Ireland or England, or then I know by the end we go to Italy. So by the end we're in Italy. Italy. So, and you guys have got my natural hair color today. You got my natural hair. I don't have a wig on today. I just was too lazy to do anything. So they're talking about this occult conspiracy that's happening. And so you have two different factions. You have the faction of Catholics who are like these two priests that are very like, holy and devout. Then you have this other faction of Catholics led by, well, I can't tell you right now. No, I won't tell you who right now. But this other faction is wanting to, because there's civil unrest in Italy right now. There's they are calling it the lead protest. It's like between 1976 and the end of 1966 and the end of 1980s, there was political turmoil in Italy. Now, unfortunately, the movie doesn't feel the need to explain this to us, just shows us protesters and was like, hey, watch out for them. Cool, thanks, movie. But like, it's left and right-wing terrorism pretty much happening within Italy at this time. Italy. So what this group of not well-meaning, not at all. This group of cult Catholics wants to do is raise the Antichrist, because that will encourage people to go back to church. Huh? Like, how does that happen? Like, I mean, I don't believe in the literal devil, so this is all like, fairy tale stuff to me. But the fact is, how is bringing the devil back, ending the world, gonna get people to go to church? Because I think most of us would be like, well, since this is all done here, I'm gonna peace out and, I don't know, do a bunch of crazy shit. I don't know. I probably wouldn't. There is a point that I'm sure do myself in. Anywho, because it's the end of the world as we know it. I love the song. So, anyhow, this is all happening. It's 1971 in Rome. This is where we're at now. And we meet Margaret, who is an American, what do they call it? They call it, novitiate. And those are two different pronunciations of that word. Novitiate, that she's coming from America. She's an orphan, and she is connected to Cardinal Lawrence, who is Bill Nighy's character, and he kind of he was a priest and a bishop in the Americas, because how she met him, he was head up her orphanage where she was, he connected through her through the orphanage that she grew up in. And so he has called her to Italy to take her, they call it taking the veil, meaning, getting married to Jesus. And, hitching that ride with Jesus in the sky. So she's all excited. She's coming to Italy. She's coming to Italy. Like, come on. And where all the magic, all the Sky Daddy magic happens is in Italy. Rome. And so while there, she rooms with another novitiate, Luz, who is they're both supposed to take the veil at the same time. But Luz is Luz has been kind of loose, which I love it. She's kind of I'm gonna be married to Sky Daddy for the rest of my life. Up until that marriage ceremony, I'm gonna be banging. I'm gonna have the time of my life, and she does. And in fact, encourages Margaret to go with her one night. So they go out clubbing. And it's literally they used to call them discotheque. It was a discotheque. And she meets Paolo. And she's drinking. She's never drank before. She's never done anything. So you just get this, you get the idea. She wakes up the next morning. I love the shot of her waking up in bed the next morning because her hair is fanned out like the sun. It's kind of cool. It's definitely, I'm sure, symbolic in some way. I wasn't at the same time in the right space of mind to think about it. But we're led to believe that she and Paolo totally bagged. Keep that in your back pocket also. So at the same time, she also meets this little girl in the orphanage named Carlita. And she notices that the other nuns are they kind of separate her from the other kids and treat her kind of shitty. Not kind of shitty. They abuse her. They put her in restraints, and she doesn't understand why. I don't think the child understands why. Definitely Margaret doesn't understand why, but the nuns are very serious about this. This is a very serious subject. They need to keep her restrained because she will do harm to others. But she makes a connection with Carlita. And all of this to say, what you need to know is when she gets approached by Father, I think it's Brennan. So I was calling, because it's Ralph Innes, I was just calling him Father Ralph. So Father Ralph approaches Margaret and was like, hey, so those people you've been hanging out with, they're part of this occult. And they want to bring about the Antichrist. And here are some things you should know. One, the Antichrist has to be a boy. And they think Here's the best part. And he thinks this Carlita, because he has a picture and all it says in the back of is, did it say what the name, what was on, it's just the subject files are all labeled Sianna, Scianna. And so he thinks that this is Carlita as a baby. And this is the first successful combining of the devil and a woman. The offspring of this successful. But again, it has to be a male. So, and the devil's into some creepy... He's been on Pornhub checking those, you know, those tabs that are... No. Those step family tabs, because to bring about the Antichrist, the devil has to have sex with his own and breed with his own offspring. So there's that. That's good for him. Anyhow, so just again, things you keep in your back pocket. Things start ramping up pretty quickly. Spooky shit starts happening right away. I really think that's all I'm gonna say, because if I say more, don't say more, say less. I think that you will, I don't want to spoil it, because I did like it. I thought it was interesting. So, from here, we're just gonna go the compliment sandwich. So my compliment sandwich, my top bun, again, if this is the first time you're watching a video, welcome, hello. We do a compliment sandwich, for our movie reviews. We do a top bun to something we liked about the movie. We do this on my book review podcast. The meat is something we didn't care for as much about the movie, and we like to end on a high note, so we'd like to throw another positive up there for the bottom bun. So, the top bun. This movie, I was very impressed with the practical effects. And the, they did a good job with the gore, and because there is some, oh, yes, I didn't mention it before. I remember the first time I recorded this, I mentioned this about 500 times because it was fresh in my mind. But at one point in this movie, I definitely saw a snatch with a baby demon arm coming out of it. And then claws were doing that. So that happened. That is seared in my brain for the rest of my life. If I were to guess that I was going to see a vagina with a grayish demon baby arm, clawed demon baby arm coming out of it, I wouldn't have bet on that. That wouldn't have been on my bingo card. But there it is, and here we are. So that being said, I thought the practical was, because that was not CGI'd. That they made a fucking, they made a practical snatch for the thing to reach out. Okay. So I want to say, the practicals are great in this movie. I thought they were, and I honestly would say that, I think the practicals were really good. And it moves fast. Moves really fast. Something I didn't like as much, I would have liked to know a lot more about two things. One, what the fuck was happening in Italy, this uprising. I learned it from reading the Wikipedia. I had to go into the subset of the fucking Wikipedia and find out what the fuck was happening in Italy at this time. Something would have been helpful. Second thing was, I would have liked to know about this fucking creepy occult sect of Catholicism wanting to go into that, man. That's interesting. I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen The Omen, but I don't remember a huge, that sect playing a huge role in it. I mean, it's mostly just the Antichrist being the Antichrist, but, I mean, this looked like they were pretty stoked about bringing on the Antichrist, so, I don't know. Just an interesting sort of, would have liked to know a little bit more about that. There would have been, I think, honestly, we've mentioned this before in different other movies, but this is a movie that I think would have played very well as a, limited TV series. Better than, what they did with what the fuck was it? Oh, the one, Exorcist. Something like that to me. Now, Ween said she saw the first season and she not really. She hate watched it. I can't remember. But this to me, it's like, it makes sense because it's like intrigue and you have conspiracy. Now, like, it'd be great if some place like Shudder or HBO where they could do the gore were to take it on. That would be fucking cool, man. But anyhow, that's my, like, it's just, there's a lot here to try to wade through and throw, like, you know, fucking the devil fucking people on top of it. Like, I got, like, it's a big pizza, man. It's a big pizza with a whole bunch of shit on it that I necessarily want. I'm like, I don't want corn on my pizza, but I got corn and I got, like, fucking bacon and zucchini for some fucking reason. Who the fuck ordered that? Get the fuck out of my house. But you know what I'm saying? Like, there's just too much. Bottom bun, it moves fast. The movie fucking moves. When I walked into the theater, I looked at my phone and I looked to see how long. I was like, fucking 2 hours? You fucking kidding me? It moved. Like, I would look down at my phone and it was like, holy shit, we only have 20 minutes left of this movie. It moves. So I would say it's, you know, it's something, and I will say, I'm on the fence about these, like, remakes because sometimes they're great, and not well. I don't think sometimes they're better than the originals, the crazies. But I think that sometimes they add really, like, they add a lot of depth through the rest of the story. It's not so much a remake, but a reboot, I should say. Like Evil Dead, we locked out on Evil Dead. It was so good, and then Evil Dead Rise was really good. Own opinion, IMO. But I mean, then you've got ones like Halloween, not the 2018, the Rob Zombie Halloween. Don't come at me about that. Come on, guys. It's been like, God, how long now at this point? 20 years? It feels like it. So this was it. I did not have my hopes very high with this one, but it actually worked. It really worked. Again, when I'm sitting here telling you I want to have more information about what was fucking happening, it obviously was like, I don't think they're going to set up to have like a second prequel to this. To the Omen. I don't see it working, but this movie did make a fuck ton of money, so who knows? And they probably, again, it's not like A-level stars in this movie either, so they're not paying out to the talent. Who knows? I don't know if it will happen, but it just doesn't seem like it lends itself to another prequel. But it's Hollywood, so they'll fucking like drill it into the ground, and so you're like, finally, like, no, the horse is dead. All right, so our ratings. We do like 5. It's a 5, not star. It's a 5 grade within each category. So the first is blood and gore. And I'm going to say this was like 2.5 to... No, fuck. You know what? Fuck you. 3. 3.5 for the vagina. Whew. Woo. Next is spooky scary. I personally, I've said on this podcast, I've said on reviews before, I do not believe in the devil. Sorry, guys. But... I think that the chances of there being a real crazy fucking Catholic cult out there, or just a cult that's about to bring the Antichrist because they think it's fun, 100%. I mean, you tell some of these people that you know, Antichrist is coming or Jesus is coming again, they'll throw those kids on and follow behind Haley's Comet, man. Woo! So that to me is frightening a little bit. So I'm going to say 3 on that one, just for the very real... that it could actually fucking happen. Ugh, let me get it out. It is pretty, it could happen. Fucking has happened. They killed themselves, not that they actually brought about the Antichrist. And then sex and nudity. How to explain this? There's some sex. There's no sex. Okay. There's the devil has sex with somebody, but you can't see it, but you know what's happening. So I'm gonna say a 2 just for. It's also, you have to know that, like, yeah. I'm gonna say 2. Just leave it there. Also, vagina. Okay. We can't forget it. Fun entertainment. Now, this was hard for me because, and always hard for me when it's not like fun, like haha fun horror, like Thanksgiving or something like that. Like, this is like, to me, like, yes, I enjoyed it in the fact that, like, I came out of there going like, wow, that was actually like better than I imagined. But it's not, it's depressing, so it's kind of hard to say fun entertainment. But if I'm looking at it in terms of would I watch this again, sure, three, absolutely. Like, there were some jump scares that fucking got me. I kind of got mad that they got me, but they were legit. They weren't just like, close a mirror and something jumps out. Like, no, they were like legit jump scares, and they worked. And so to wrap it up, I would say, like, would I recommend this you see it in theater? Or sorry, if I'm giving it a graded Parmesan grade, it would be probably B to B minus. It's not the best thing you're going to see this year, but it's definitely not the worst. It's not fucking Spooky Pool, so there you go. But I would say, like, theater as opposed to at home watch. I think there are a couple scenes, there's an explosion that I could feel in my seat, which was cool. And there's a couple car crashes that were pretty fucking cool. But other than that, like, honestly, if you got a rig up at home that, like, your audio system is baller at home, I think you'll be fine. But again, like, it's the Omen. It's not like it's Fast 7. So I don't know. Like, I think you could probably just watch it at home, rent it, or like stream it online. You don't necessarily have to go to the movies to see this. But if you're wanting a good fun time, quote unquote fun, if you want to see a vagina you want to see a demon stick his hand out of a vagina in the theaters with other people, this is the movie for you. Luckily, I was by myself, so I was embarrassed by myself. So, yeah, that's it. We are, if you don't know, B3, Booze, Booze, and Blood, we are a weekly horror movie podcast, where we try to break things down, usually by franchise. Sometimes we have theme months. It just depends on, or like this past month for April was Ghostbusters month because of Frozen Empire coming out. So you'll find on our feed that Frozen Empire is a video review where we don't spoil. And then we covered the other four, and yes, we consider 2016 part of the oeuvre of Ghostbusters. So get your fucking priorities in order. But next month will be Hitchcock month. So it just depends. This will be our second Hitchcock month of the year. We just break down his movies as through a timeline. So follow us, like, and subscribe. You can find our podcast literally anywhere that podcasts live. So if you are a Spotify girl, if you are a boy person, sorry, didn't mean to gender it. If you are Apple Podcasts, RIP Stitcher, any of those things, good pods, you can find us there. Amazon Music, you can find us on Amazon Music. I might just throw a USB stick at somebody at some point, so if that's you, I'm sorry ahead of time, but listen to our podcast, it's pretty funny. You can find us a whole bunch of different places. In the meantime, keep it spooky.